Okay, so today we are building my Redis. So, for a lot of people who don't know what a Redis is a key value store in memory key value store database. Okay, and it's faster database and that's what we are going to build today. Redis itself, it's not going to be as fast as Redis, and let me be clear on that, okay? And also, we are not going to hash it. So what Redis does is it hashes it before storing, but we are not going to do that. But otherwise, all the things which Redis has, we are going to have them. Okay, so let's understand what actually in-memory key value store with persistence database is. Okay, key value store database with persistences. Let's understand it. So the database store, this key value store database, is very different from our SQL database. Like there, it's very detailed database, but this is a very different database. It cache. Okay, it uses cache. It shows in memory, and when program shuts, okay. Uh, don't worry, if you don't understand it, later I'm going to explain in more detail while building it. Okay, so now the thing is, okay, first let me just show you how it stores. Okay, this is how it stores. Let's check it on Wikipedia, what it is. Okay, let me just zoom in quickly. Okay, there you go. Just a second. Yeah, perfect. Okay, now key value database. So a key value database or key value store, okay, is a data storage paradigm designed for storing, retrieving, and managing associative arrays. A data structure more commonly known today as a dictionary. Okay, dictionaries contain a collection of objects or records, I'd say, which in turn have many different fields within them. Okay, now as I shown you um, over here, so this is a key, and uh, inside it it shows a lot of items, okay, a lot of values. As you can see here, value is t created and all that thing. Okay, now like that there are a lot of other records are there apart from the one which I shown you first. Okay, now that's what it's saying here. These records are stored and retrieved using a key. Okay, so what's the key here? The key here is username is that's these are the keys. Okay, and uh, a key that uniquely identifies the record and is used to find the data within the database. Okay, so they've shown some photos here, like this is a key and this is the value inside it. Okay, in order to find that value you have to search the key. Okay, and it's very fast. Okay, it has a low latency, and yeah, so if you want to read it you can read it further in more detail to understand it deeply, but I have already read it, and yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's understand what Redis is now. Okay, it's same as our project, but let's just see. So the person who made Reddit, who create built Reddit, is this one. Okay, Salvatore Salvatore Sanfilippo. Okay, the original developer of Teleproken for photo taken in 2015. Okay, that's that. Okay, let's understand. We don't need history of Reddit. We just need what Redis is. Okay, Redis remote dictionary server. Okay, is an in-memory key value store or database, as I already said before, used as a distributed cache. I'll explain for those of you who don't know what cache is. I'll explain it to you later. Okay, and message broker with optional durability because it holds all data in memory, and because of its design, Redis offers low latency. Redis offers low latency reads and writes. Okay, making it particularly suitable for use cases that require cache. The project code development maintained by Salvatore Sanfilippo starting in 2009 from 2015 until 2020. From 2015 until 2020, he had a project core team sponsored by Redis Labs. Salvatore Sanfilippo left Redis as the maintainer in 2020. In 2021, Redis Labs dropped the labs from its name and now is known simply as Redis. Okay, so the original creator of it was Salvatore Sanfilippo, I think, and after a while he left it, and then the name changed from Redis Lab just to Redis. Okay, so we don't give a shit about the name. For some people, do no offense. Some people do, but I don't. Okay, now yeah, let's move to now cache. So a lot of people might not know what cache is. Don't worry, here I am. Let's make it as simple as I've made it as simple as I could. Okay, now cache is like a refrigerator at your home. So if you don't have a refrigerator, just imagine one. Okay, and like what refrigerator helps us with is whenever you go to supermarket, like you don't have to go to supermarket every day. You just have to go one day, get the stock, save it inside refrigerator, and then you don't have to go to supermarket again. You can get it from the refrigerator as well. So that's what cache does. So when user requests a data, so first, it goes to cache. It asks, is it there? If it's not there, it goes to database. Database gives to user and also saves it in cache. So if user asks that again, instead of going to the database, it goes to the cache, okay, and gets it in return, okay, and that becomes really fast. Okay, that gets really fast rather than going to the database and getting it from in memory from cache is very simple. Yeah, and that's what it does. Okay, so I hope you understood what cache is. So I just have did a lot of research. Okay, like never start a project without doing research. Now I can't put all the research on YouTube, otherwise the video will get what 10 15 hours long, and I don't obviously want that. So what I've did is I did some research already, and I show you some part of it. Like a lot of people don't show that, but I do. I want to be transparent. Okay, not totally transparent. Otherwise, you'll say everything. Okay. Now let's one more thing I wanted to show you is vgref. So we are going to use vgref, and for people who don't know what vgref is, let me just explain it to you. Okay, when you create an object, so for object in Python, what happens is um, it has references connecting to it to the object, and that's what keeps that object in the memory. Okay, when the reference count of that object is 0, that object is deleted from the memory. Okay, it's get garbage collected. Okay, and the thing is, here let's see on a laptop. Okay, this is first reference here, user, which is directly connected to the object, so its reference count becomes 1. Okay, and this is user 2, which is indirectly connected to the object, so it's a reference, then the reference count gets 2. Okay, now when you delete in the reference 1, now there is one reference, okay, which is indirectly connected but is connected. So that's why the reference count stays 1 and the object stays in the memory, because the reference count is not 0. Okay, now in here, okay, just a second, on the other side, okay, here one reference is directly connected, first user, to the object, and second is indirectly connected, but it's connected to vgref. Okay, so what vgref does is it does know the object exists, but it doesn't own it. Okay, so the reference count is 1. It doesn't count this one as a reference count. Okay, and the reference count 1 is of the user 1. Okay, so when you delete the user 1, the reference count gets 0 and the object disappears from the memory. Okay, so that's how it all happens. So I think these were the topics I wanted to explain it to you. Now let's just jump into the coding part. Okay, so for this project we are going to follow a particular file structure, folder structure. Okay, and I've got this over here. Okay, I've got this from ChatGPT. I'm not gonna say I built it myself. Okay, yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to say. Now let's get here. Okay, now the first folder which I have to create is KV store. Okay, inside KV store, what I want to create is models, yeah, cache, persistence, uh, workers, TTL, retry, utils. So let me explain the use of each one. Okay, so models will hold data. Okay, something that holds data will come into the models, the file that will come into models. Okay, models folder cache. So LRU, the cache related files will come under cache. Persistence related will come under persistence. Threading related, so multiple workers will come under workers folder. TTL means expiration, that code will come under this. Retry, so we can't make requests to the database again and again and again and again, so out of the memory for that matter, again and again and again. So there will be a certain amount of time in between those requests, so that will come under retry. And utils is like helper functions. Hit enter. So we've got all the files. Now the next thing is I'm going to use git. Okay, git init, git um, git commit initial commit. Okay, it's done. Now the first thing what I have to do is create a file. Okay, let me just create a file. Okay, I'm going to create two files, not one. Store.py, and one more thing, that is init.py. Okay, now let's just go to store.py. Now the things we are needed here is, first let's create a class key. Okay, just a second. Key value store def init. Why don't know I'm not getting suggestions? What the fuck? Yeah, init. Okay, there's update here, I think. I'll do that later. Okay, now here what I have to do is, first we have to create an empty dictionary. Okay, let's call it KV store. Let's give it type. Okay, let's give it data type, what it will have, which it will have. Okay, it will have this, and it string, and the next one could be any. So for those of you who don't know any is, it just comes from typing module import any. Okay, let's go down and let's just create an empty dictionary. So then the next method which we are going to have here is set, obviously. Okay, set will receive three things: key, value, value can be any, and the next one is going to be TTL, which by default will be none if there's nothing. Okay, and after that what we have to do is we have to create an entry. Okay, cd models, and let's create one thing, that is touch. Okay, entry.py and init.py. Okay, now entry.py will hold a data class, so let's do that. Import that from data classes import data class, and also I think I'll need any, and one more thing. No, I think yeah. So from typing, okay, yeah, from typing import any. Okay, let's build a data class. Data class. The name of it will be something like entry. Okay, and the values it will have is value, and it will be additional. It will be any. Okay. Next thing it will have is created at, which will be float. Okay. Next thing it will have is expired at, which will again be float. And again the next thing which will have is metadata, which will be of um, the key will be string. Okay, and the value could be any. Yeah, so that's what our entry will hold. Okay, let's just check. I have here something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, sorry, it's not like that. Dictionary, and okay, I have to pass it like this. Let's change it quickly. So it's that, and in here I have to pass string and any. Okay, and let me just copy it because I've made it wrong over here as well. Yeah, let's just give pass here for now. Okay, and this entry file is done. Let me just quickly commit it. Get add, not all. Let's just add, get add where we are. Okay, oh yeah, I got that. We are not inside KV store. Models entry.py. Okay, let's go up. Let's just remove this. Okay, let me just do some updates in init.py first. That is from dot entry import entry. Okay, now let's just do that. Init.py. Okay, that's added now. Now let's just do the commit. Um, add init.py and entry.py inside models. Okay, that's done. Let's just keep it simple for now, and now let's just move to store. Now here what I have to do is import from models, import entry. Now the reason I've used init is because now, as you can see, I don't have to do that dot um, entry and then get the class. I just have to write the file folder name, and that's it. Okay, now let's just create the entry. So it need first value. So we have value. Let's give it back. Created at. So for created at, I'm going to need from time import mono. No. Let's just import time. Okay. Now here I'm going to use time dot monotonic. For those of you who don't know what monotonic is, what monotonic does, it's just like clock, but it doesn't push and it doesn't go backwards. It just moves forward. Okay, and it's same as clock. Now then, in expire, that what I have to add is TTL Okay, it's TL. It's not TL. It's TTL. TTL plus time dot monotonic if TTL else none. Okay, and in metadata it's just going to be empty dictionary. Okay, we'll work on that later. For now, let's just okay. Now let me just print entry. Let's check if it's actually working or not. Okay, let's go to main.py. I have this data which I shown you earlier. Okay, this one. So this is the one which we are going to use. Let me just copy it. Okay, where is init.py? Not this one. Okay, this one actually. From um, dot store import key value store. Okay, let's just remove this. Go to main.py. Okay, at the top, let's just from store. Okay, not store. From kv store import key value store. Let me just remove this line, and here kv store key value store, or I let's just call it store like this. Can I add kv? Let's just see. Yeah, I can add that. So kv store dot set, and let's just pass this. Okay, what the fuck? That's why I stored this data earlier in my Obsidian. Okay, let's just store it here, and now let's just run it. Main.py. Okay, I've got an error. No module name models. Why am I getting this error? Okay, so we have to use here dot. Let's just remove this dot for now. Okay, and let's just check. Yeah, now it's working. So now as you can see, we've got the entry object. The next thing which we have to do is we have to save this entry object inside dictionary which we have created called kv store. So let's do that. Self dot kv store. Let's give that key. Okay, sorry. Let's give that key, and which will be equal to entry object. Okay, done. Now what we have to do is now we need to create the LRU manager which will keep um, which will be in cache. Okay, let's go here. Let's create some files. Okay, let me just create it like that. Init.py, and one more file which will call something like LRU cache.py. Okay, now in here it will be um, class. It will be a class. Okay, what are we going to need? So let's just we'll import that data what we need. Okay, LRU manager def init. So the way I don't think we need anything inside this. Okay, now like the parameters. Okay, now I'll need it from collections. I'll need to import ordered dictionary. Okay, what this does, you have to research that. I'm not gonna tell you that what it does. I'm just focusing on building the project and explaining you what the project does. Again, how to build it. Okay, self dot ordered dictionary will be equal to this ordered dictionary, which will be empty for now. Now I have to, let me just go to my obsidian vault. Okay. I've did here all the thing. Yeah, LR you manage your class. Now what are the methods it will have? um, First it will have touch. We also have to add max size in it. Okay, so touch, remove oldest key is full size, and get keys. Yeah. Okay, now let's go. Now there's one more thing I have to add here, that is self dot max size will be equal to 5. Okay, now here I have to do touch self, and it will receive a key. Okay, what we have to do here for touch, moves the key to the end, otherwise creates it. So if the key is present, I guess it will move the key. If the key is not present, it's missing, and like if it's not there, then it will create it. Okay, let's go here. If key in self dot order dictionary, now then you have to move it to the end. Okay, so the now in order dictionary, how it works is, let me just show you here. Now here 5 is the newest key and 1 is the oldest key. So the first key is oldest key and the last key is newest key. Okay, that's how it works. Yeah, I know it's confusing, but that's how it works. Okay, now here what I have to do is self dot order dictionary dot move to the end and give it the key. Now here by default there is true last, there is a parameter last, and which is by default it's true, so I don't have to pass anything. If I want to uh, push this key to the first value, to the first place position, then I have to make last as false. I have to do last as false, but we don't want that. Okay, if the key is not present, then okay, self dot order dictionary, then I have to set the key which will be equal to none. Okay, and then yeah, that's all. Now the next method which we have is remove. If key is there, remove it. Okay, def remove self, and it will receive a key. Okay, if key in self dot order dictionary, I have to remove it. So for remove, I think there's something called pop. Self dot order dictionary dot pop, and I have to pass the key. That's all. Okay, then we have oldest key. Now we have something like oldest key. Okay, now we have to build this method, that is oldest key. Okay, now this will not take any arguments, um, or it's a parameters. Okay, but how we are going to return the oldest key, which is going to be the first key. Okay, now there's no single method in order dictionary which returns the first key. Then we have to use some coding knowledge of us. We have to use our coding knowledge here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get all the keys first. Okay, we have to convert them into list. uh, self dot order dictionary dot keys. So there's a method which gives us all the keys. We have to convert them into list and then return the first key like this. Okay, and then it's okay, and then it's done. Now what we have to do is full. Now we have to create is full method which returns true or false. Def is full, which will receive nothing. Okay, if length of self dot order dictionary is equal to the is equal to self dot max size, then the length is full, right? Return true, otherwise return false. Okay, the next is size. Now we have to size. Okay, in this we have to just return the length of self dot order dictionary, and the last one is get keys, and it won't have anything in arguments. Okay, now here what we have to do is return list of self dot order dot dictionary dot keys, just like this. I'm going to return it just like this. So now um, LRU manager is also complete. Let's go to store.py. Here let's try to implement it, but before we need to import it from dot cache import LRU manager. Okay, I haven't added that in, it's in it. From dot in LRU cache import um, LRU manager, and then let's just shut it off. LRU manager. Here let's just initialize it first. Okay, ordered dect is equal to LRU manager. Okay, now what I have to do is let's just check one function. Um, order dictionary dot touch, and then we have to pass the key, and I'm going to pass other two things as well. That is, let me just brought it down. Okay, I've duplicated it. Now here I'm going to pass two random things. One is dog and hell. Okay, or hello. Okay, now I'm going to check if these are added or not. So for that we have something like we get all the keys. So um, in list format, as you can remember from get keys. Okay, so I'm going to do call that method get keys. Okay, and I'm just going to print that. Let's just run this. As you can see, I've got all the keys. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to self.order dictionary dot touch. So I'm going to touch new key. Okay, now the oldest key is here is OTP. Now we have to touch that key, and now that key will be the newest key. Okay, now let me just copy it down. Let's see if it's working. As you can see, now the oldest key is hello and the newest key is OTP. So touch is working, obviously. And after that, what we have is remove oldest key is full. Okay, let's just try to print. Let's just try to remove one key. Okay, self dot order dictionary dot remove. Now what key I want to remove? I want to remove hello. Okay, let's just try to print again. Now this one is working, so let's just move down and let me just, yeah. Okay, let's just see again. As you can see, hello is removed. After that, now oldest key. Now we have to get the oldest key. Now let me just remove this, and let's just do oldest key. Let's call this function and it will return as oldest key, so we have to print it. Okay, let's just run this. As you can see, oldest key was hello, so we have got the hello. And just like that, I think every function will work because there's no problem. You can check it, but I think it will work. Okay, let me just remove everything and just keep this key. Yeah, so we have built set, and we have also built LRU cache and that. Okay, so I'm going to add that KV store, and then cache. Okay, here cache slash LRU cache.py, and the next one is going to be init.py. Okay, let's hit. Okay, I have to add them. Sorry. Yeah, so they've added. Now I have to commit, add init.py and lru.cache.py in uh, cache. That's it. And then I'm going to add everything. Okay, get commit. Message is going to be add dot init dot py and store dot py with set method, because you have just added one method here, so that's it. Okay, now yeah, what you have did till now is we have built set method, LRU cache class, and entry data class. That's all. Okay, so now actually what we have to do is we have to save it into a temporary file, and that temporary then replace that temporary file name with a data.json, and we can use to convert text into JSON data. Actually, there are two things we can do that with, either JSON or pickle. Okay, and we're gonna do that with both actually. At least we're gonna put both. Okay, let's get started. So here we are. Okay, this is about file. Okay, this is about persistence. So it's actually going to be about going to an in persistence folder. Okay, now let me just open to, let's go where we are. Okay, I'm inside Redis. Let's go inside KV store, and actually let's go inside persistence. Okay, yeah, and here I'm going to create three files, that is um, init.py, storage.py, and one more thing, that is serializer.py and .py. Okay, now why two files? Why not just do it in one file? Okay, I know a lot of people think that I over engineer things. Okay, but here I'm just trying to explain you as easily as I could. Okay, here is it's not about making the project as small in code as we could. It's about teaching. Okay, so I want the people to understand this. Yeah, now what we have to do is let's work with serializer first. Here, as I said, to convert the text into JSON or into text, to convert that dictionary, what we are going to need is we can either use pickle or JSON. So let's import them both. Import pickle. Okay, and I'm going to create a class for JSON first. JSON serializer def init. I don't think there's anything that's going to be into init, but we'll check that later. Data. Okay, here we'll get data. I have to use JSON dot loads and put the JSON data inside it. But now the problem is we don't have entry object anymore. As you can see here, while serializing it, we converted into dictionary. So now we have to do that again, and now we have to create it into like entry object. Okay. Now how I'm gonna do that? So I'm just going to give show results here. It will be an empty dictionary for key and value in data dot items. No, not data dot items. Yeah, actually data dot item. Okay, let me just make it store. Okay, because I'm repeating it. Encoded data actually. Sorry. Here I'll add encoded JSON data. Copy it, paste it here, and then here I'll do data, and here as well data dot items. Okay, now what I'm going to again do is we're going to repeat that. Let me show you. Where am I? Yeah, store. We are going to repeat this thing. Okay, now here I've just noticed one problem, that is here the time might change because we are using this millisecond. I'm using time dot monotonic, and the next millisecond it will change, right? So milliseconds will change, not seconds, but maybe seconds as well. So here what I'm gonna do is on top here we'll use a variable now, and we'll store time dot monotonic. We'll do time dot monotonic there. Okay, now we have one time, one number. Okay, now we'll use that here, so the time won't change here. Okay, the meaning of saying doing that is this. Okay, now here what we have to do here is we have key, so I'm going to use entry doesn't consist t entry, and then entry. Now here we have to add value, so okay, it's a dictionary, so I can do it like this. Then created at will be created at. I'm just going to duplicate it down, and here I'm going to change it like expired at, and remove this at. Okay, and the last thing is metadata, which is an empty dictionary. Now it's done. Now what I have to do is I have to store it into result. The result will have key, sorry, k, not key, and it will be equal to entry object that we've just created. Now we've got it right, and then I have to return the result. Okay, now you can see the code. It will work, I'm damn sure about that. Now let me just go and push this code. Get commit you add serialize and deserialize in JSON serializer class. Done. Why it's showing me? Okay, I'm getting a error path spec. I don't know the reason why I'm getting that. Get status. So these are staged. Okay, unstaged. Staged file. Okay, let me just do that from here. I'm just going to copy this message, paste it over here, commit. Yeah, now it's done, I guess. Yeah, now it's done. So it successfully happened from here, but in terminal it was giving me some trouble. But yeah, it's done now. Now we have to work in storage.py. Now here what we have to do, we have to store that data into file, temporary file, and then what we have to write this encoded data, encoded JSON data, and there we go, we are done. Okay, now return. I don't think we have to return anything, just I'm going to do something like this. Okay, now after that, um, I have to create one more function called load. Now what load is going to do is it's going to load the file. Okay, now okay, there's one more thing. There's one more thing here. I have to import OS for that. What we forgot to do is we haven't replaced this name, replaced this file with another. So what I'm going to do for that is we are going to use os.replace and give the file name, which is stem.json. And for now, here I'm going to need the desired file name. So maybe we can ask that from user, or if user haven't given it, okay, I'm going to file path. So user can give it, but if user forgot to give it, then we are gonna have one by default, which is data.json. Okay, now let me just put that into self dot file path will be equal to file path, like this. And here I'm going to pass that file path. Now it's done. Now load, what will node have is self, and it won't get any uh, data because we are going to load it from file. Okay, load it from file. So now here what we have to do is we already have this file called data.json. Then what we have to do with open self dot file path, and we have to read it as binary as file, sorry, and then data. Okay, it's not going to be data, it's going to be encoded in JSON data, and then I'm going to file dot read it, something like this. Now I'm going to use deserialize here, self dot d self dot json serialize dot deserialize, and pass this encoded JSON data. Now what I'll have return is my normal data, which then I have to put into, which then I have to return. Okay, like this. So now we are done with this as well. You can use pickle, but I prefer not to. Now let me just push this code again. Let's go here, let's do this from here. Okay, these are the three files. Let's add this. So I added all state changes. So let's write the message, add save and load in file storage class. Hit commit. It should have been blue, so like at least it looks like it's not it's a disable button. So it looks like I can't press it. It should have been in blue color like this. So that might have been different. So I can see here I've, yeah, it's good. Here I can see the commits which I've did so far. So these are the commits. Now what we have to do is there are two more functions here. Okay, the first one, the third one is um, write temp. Okay, write temp, and it's going to receive nothing. What write temp? It's going to receive data, I guess. Let me just check from my Obsidian what. Okay, so it's going to receive data in the same way. Entry is going to receive entry, so we haven't imported it. Let's go on top from models, import entry. Let's go down, and now what I have to do is same thing with with open, then I have to give the file name which is temp.json, write binary as file. Okay, I'm getting some sort of error which I don't know why. Okay, here, okay, my mistake, dictionary data will be dictionary, something like this. Okay, now here what I have to do is I have to write file dot write and give the data encoded JSON data. Okay, and then on top here, let's go here, encoded JSON data, which will get from JSON serialized, and we'll pass this data over here. Okay, now we have the encoded data. Now it's done. This file won't do anything else. It just writes temporary file, nothing else. Now one more file, atomic replace. I know the name might sound little weird, but let's keep it that way. Okay, self. Now what this file is will do is it will do nothing. os.replace, it will just replace temp.json file with os that file path. Okay, and it will return nothing. That's all. Now here as well, let me just return. Yeah, it's done. Let me just commit this as well. Now what I'm gonna do in commit is add a write temp and atomic replace in file storage class, commit, and it's done. Okay, now what I have to do is everything is done, I guess. Storage is also completed. Let me just go here. Save is going to work fabulously. Now in store.py, I just have to do one thing, that is finish. Sorry, I just have to do one thing, that is initialize it first. Self dot. Okay, but before that, let's just import it from cache, not cache, actually persistence. Import file storage. Okay, but here I forgot to mention it. Storage import. Why I'm not getting it? Okay, not serializer, dude. Storage. Import file storage. Okay, now here in store file storage, self dot file storage will be equal to file storage, not this, file storage, like this. Okay, then here self dot file storage dot save, and I have to pass self dot kv store. The whole will pass the whole full kv store. Okay, now there are two methods which we have to create inside the store. Let's go to store. Yeah, we are inside store.py, and the two methods are def get, which will have the key inside it, and one more thing, that is def delete, which will delete the key. Okay, like this. Now let's just work with this one first, get method, and how we are gonna do it. Like first we have to check if the key is not there, then we can't give anything, right? In that way, in that case, let's just first check if key is not in self dot kv store. If okay, not like that, sorry. If key not in k self dot kv store, then return none. Okay, if the key is there, we have to get the object, so entry object. And how we're gonna get that? Self dot kv store, and I just have to pass that key like this. And now we also need the time, so current time dot monotonic. Okay, and then we have to check if entry object dot dot expired at because it's an entry object, we can use dot here to enter the values inside it. Expired at is not none, and but I don't know why. Okay, let's just keep it that entry object. Okay, if then and now is greater than entry object dot expired at, that means it's expired. That means the key is expired. In that case, I'm going to print key and then give the key. Um, then give the key has been expired like this. Now after that, I have to delete the key from self.kv store and like this. Now after deleting it, I also have to remove it from the order dictionary. So how we're gonna do that? Self dot for that we have created a method, as you might remember. Now where is my LRU cache here? Okay, yeah, there you go. We have created a we have created this remove method here. So that's what we are going to use. Self dot order dictionary dot remove and just pass the key. It's done. Now here I'm going to return. Okay, else. Now I'm here, I'm going to use else, and here what we have to do is, now the key is not expired, and if that's the case, we have to we have to return the value, right? And the user try to touch the key, user try to get the key, so we have to also move it in the dictionary. So self dot order dictionary dot touch and then pass the key. So what touch will do is it will make it recently used key. Okay, it will make it the newest key, it will move to the last. Okay, after that I have to return entry object like this. Entry object dot value, no, entry object is itself as value. Okay, like this. Yeah, it's correct. Now let's work. Let me just quickly what change I did here. Okay, let me just quickly just commit all this. Add get in key value store class. Okay, hit commit. It's done. Now what we have to do? Delete. Yeah, we have to work on this delete. Now delete will also work in the same way. We have to check first. If key is not there, we have to return false. Okay, otherwise If key is there, then we have to delete it. So it will be the same way over here. Delete the key, and after that deleting the key, um, we have to also change the data JSON file which we will create in disk. Okay, so how we going to do that? For that, file storage, we have self.filestorage.save, and then we have to pass the self.kv store, and then I have to return true. Okay, now here I can't just return nothing, I have to return none here. Let's just check everything is in a perfect order. Yes, everything is. Now let me push this new let me just commit this new thing which I've did, which is delete. Okay, add delete in key value store class, hit commit, and yeah, for now what we how much commit you did? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 commits you did till now.